good reminder to which rope to always tie it up.
Well, I just finished my first cavern dive of 4, freezing cold. We went about 65 meters in. The difference between cavern and cave, it's the first stage of cave diving. You go in tying lines. Theory is you can still see the exit position, but we got pretty deep into the cave and very cold. After about 40 minutes, I couldn't feel my fingers and my toes, which meant that going into pockets and doing drills like changing your mask, taking that off, putting that back on, trying to readjust the strap around your head as water was leaking in, not seeing anything and not being able to move my hands was really difficult, I found. Also the taking spare lights, changing lights, clipping them on, horrid, as well as the dry suit is quite tight around the neck for me, this one, so every time I leant down it's tightening. So yeah, the main thing though is when I was in there, I just got hit by the memories of all my mates who've died in those places. And all those corners and dark corners and the things and tears of your wet dry suit and running out of gas, out of air, and problems going and just ending up alone in quiet corners of a cave underwater just waiting to die. Horrible, horrible stories. Anyway, they came flooding back to me first time really surrounded like that in a cave. So I had to just control my breathing and think about them, but yeah, they're there with me. Anyway, that's the first day. I'm here sitting in the window trying to warm up my fingers and toes before we have some lunch and go back in again. Okay, we just had to abandon that because I had a free-flowing regulator. Mask completely fogged up. Check this out. With the cold, the regulator completely fogged up as well. So I couldn't see anything. Tried to get to the surface and thought I saw the light, but I just saw the ice. Ended up flat across the ice, and then the regulator froze. Had nothing there. That was pretty close. Luckily, Olaf came and gave me his spare, saved the day. It's got to be one of the closest calls I've ever had. The dangers of diving under ice. I could even feel the water going in my mouth and start gulping water. Oh my God, I felt like those movies where you're under the ice trying to find the exit. I just couldn't see it. Right, refill, let's do it again. All right, just finished, I guess, our third dive. Oof, what a day. Check that out, so beautiful back there. Closest I've come to dying underwater. I reckon only a few seconds away, but anyway, it didn't happen. This ice diving or cave diving under ice as well is a little bit scary. Anyway, just gotta have a think about it. Whew. Now have some food, warm up a bit, and then a bit of a debrief. The hero, look at him. He's finished.
Hero.
Yeah, you're the hero.
Hero of the day.
The final course, you've done it.
100 meters.
100 meter man. 100 meter man.
Yeah.
Usain Bolt almost.
I know what you can do.
Nyt kuvia pois.
Joo.
So it's about 9:45 at night, and I've just been reflecting on today. Yeah, that was a pretty close call I had on our second dive. We're doing a test. This is just for my recollection on what happened when we were looking at both perspectives. So we're just doing a test on the regulators and switching the regulators out. I had a side stage, that's the second tank on the side. And I took my regulator out I turned on the other stage, and it started to free flow my initial regulator. I managed to arrest that and stop it by purging it. I put the other regulator in, and that started to free flow all through my mouth. At the same time, the other regulator also free flowed. I put the original primary regulator into my mouth, and the other regulator continued to free flow. There were bubbles everywhere. My goggles, mask completely filled up with water. Couldn't see anything. Big bubble fest as 2 tanks pretty much emptied. I couldn't see that the other one was flowing. I didn't realize, so I didn't think of turning it off, which I could have done. I was more concerned about just trying to breathe the free flowing regulator, which is fine, but it's more the fact I couldn't see anything. I did manage to get a glimpse of my partner and signaled to head out, which is fair enough. So we headed out. And I was okay at that stage, but at that point, it just became a complete bubble fest. I headed towards the light quite quickly. We weren't very deep, only probably 5 meters, 5 meters, 6 meters. And headed towards the light. The light was in the shallow area, which I knew we'd come in on. When I got up there, I was actually on the wrong part of the lake. I'd missed it by about probably 10 meters, the hole. But looking up, interesting lesson for me, looking up as what I could see through my mask and the water, was it looked like with the bubbles above that was the opening, because we'd only come through a small opening, but it wasn't the opening. And as I got to the top, the entire regulator froze within my mouth, being so cold. All the second stage and everything had frozen, and I could feel this big lump of ice in my mouth, and the bubbles had pushed me right up against the ice, and my face was against the ice. So I was trying to sort that out, but the gas sort of fairly much ran out. It hadn't completely run out. We had a few more bars left, but it had all frozen in my mouth. I was trying to reach across the top to find the exit. I couldn't find the exit. More water was coming into my mouth, and I started swallowing water. And I was thinking, right, okay, gosh, I can't get out of this. I then luckily saw my partner putting his spare regulator out, which is amazing. He'd been doing it for a while, but I hadn't seen him with everything else going on. And we were able to buddy breathe and get out. So a close call today, probably one of the closest calls. A lot of lessons there. Went down and practiced turning on and off the cylinders. I need to practice turning on and off my cylinder as well at the top in case of free flow coming through. Something you don't get really in not this freezing cold water. Of course, as you get closer to the surface of the water, it gets even colder and everything freezes up. Big lesson. Close to finito, cave diving, and then popping up into ice. Quite a lot of things happening. Anyway, that was just a record.